Donna Boyce with TST BOCES here in Ithaca. We're here to discuss transportation and COVID-19. We understand there's a lot of concerns from students, parents, drivers, and aides. So this should help clear up some of those concerns.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth Berner from the Ithaca City School District. I'm here today to help assist Donna Boyce from TST BOCES to talk to you guys about being safe during this COVID pandemic. So in front, you can see I have many different products that should be available to you at your district. First, we're going to talk about gloves. So as you can see, these are nitrile gloves. Drivers should always have these available to them, so that way you can use them whenever dealing with a student. Aides should also have these available to them, and you want to make sure that the gloves you have are the correct fit. You don't want them too big, you don't want them too tight. So if you don't have the correct ones available to you, as I'm going to say with many of these things, fit is the most important. You want something that's going to fit and work well for you. When we're taking our gloves off, we want to make sure we're taking it on the outside, and we're going to flip it in with all the germs that would be inside the glove, and then we're going to hold on to the glove, and then we're going to again take it off by the inside, which should be clean, and everything should be on the inside. Once we're done with that, we're going to throw it into our garbage, and then at the end of our run, we're going to take it off. Next, we're going to talk about our own personal face coverings and equipment. Here we have a shield. Now, shields, one thing that's important for our shields is every time that we are done using them, that we are disinfecting them, and we don't want to spray things on them and just wipe them off quickly. We want to make sure that they have the correct contact time in order to sanitize them. So making sure we're cleaning these in between each use. So we're going to make sure they're secure and they're fitting properly, covering our face properly, and we're also able to see out of them with no issues. So this would be an example of a face shield. This is also something that you should keep on your person at all times, not something you want to leave on your bus in case you're switched bus to bus. Next, we're going to talk about our cloth masks. Whenever we're putting our masks on or taking them off, we want to hold them by the ear loops. And again, we're going to put them on. Make sure they're fitting correctly. So this is a cloth mask. Again, when we're taking them off, we want to make sure that we are taking them off by the ear loops. Again, we're taking these home, maybe putting them in a bag, and then we're going to wash them in between each use. So these are our surgical masks, and as you can see, there's normally a blue and a white side. We always want the blue side towards the outside. And again, at the bottom and the top, you'll see that there's a metal piece, a metal adjustable piece. We always want to make sure that's at the top. We're just going to take our ear loops again, put them on, make sure you're covering your chin, and when we get it up on our nose, we're going to press that metal piece right against our nose and make sure that it's adjusted properly. And again, when we take it off, we want to use the ear loops. So this is hand sanitizer. Bus drivers and aides should have hand sanitizer readily available to them in the transportation building that they are reporting to. New York State Education Department just put out guidelines that they are not allowed to have personal hand sanitizer on buses, but if you need personal hand sanitizer for in your car, so that way as soon as you come off your run you have it available to you, please ask your supervisor. Next, we're going to talk about disinfectant wipes. Disinfectant wipes are something that's good. There's all different kinds. These are Clorox wipes. Our districts use Flex wipes. So it's going to be dependent district to district, but we want to make sure that we have these available to us. This and this product, which is also a disinfectant spray that you would use with a paper towel, this is what we're going to want to use after every single run on our high touch areas. So on our hand railings, on our steering wheels, on our seat tops, possibly our windows if the students are touching these. So this is between every single route or high touch areas. Next, we're going to talk about a disinfectant spray that we have that we recommend you cleaning your bus one time daily at the end of the day. Again, check with your local department to see what their cleaning procedure is during this COVID closure. Now, these products that we are using, they differentiate district to district, but most of these are products that we use on a daily basis anyways. They're things that we're doing more often on the high touch areas in between runs to keep your students safe.
So right now we're going to discuss student safety, best practices with social distancing, and keeping the students and the bus drivers safe. Whenever possible, drivers will recommend social distancing for all students. So this is just social distancing to show you between these two seats, 6 feet. If you have more than one student in a household, then the students, depending on the district, the recommendation is the students can sit together. So if there's 3 siblings in the household, those 3 students can sit together. And again, they would be socially distanced from the other students. That's one of our best practices. Also, face masks. Students will be required to wear face masks. This is a pediatric face mask. The districts will provide face masks for the students. We have different sizes. This is pediatric. In the event that social distancing is not possible, your district may require 1 student to a seat. In the event that that happens, each student will be required to wear a face mask. So if your student requires a wheelchair bus, we will also keep your students safe. So any students with special needs that are in a wheelchair, they will also be socially distanced 6 feet to keep them safe as well. So, what do we do when a student boards our bus and does not have on a face mask? Some students may not be required to wear a mask because they're medically fragile or have a pre-existing condition to where they just can't wear a mask. Some students physically, they cannot wear a mask. So what would we do if a student can't wear a mask? We would socially distance that student, as you can see from all students. So as drivers, just make sure that student is distant from all the other students. And also, we cannot refuse transportation if the student is not wearing a mask. We are not to leave the students. We are to talk to our administration to find out the proper procedure when you get to the school, what each district has in place once you get the student to the school that is not wearing a mask. So if you have a student that's not wearing a mask, you can open the windows. We recommend having the windows open as much as we can. We also know in wintertime it gets chilly at times, but the more ventilation, the better it would be and safer for the students. Also, roof hatches. Roof hatches should also be open. They should be cracked. This gives circulation to the bus just in case you have a student that removes the mask, drops the mask down underneath their nose or mouth, or just completely takes the mask off. Like this student right here who cannot wear a mask, you want to make sure there's plenty of ventilation, but you want to keep the students safe as well. Also with saying that, we'll go up to the driver's area in a minute and I'll show some tips, some helpful tips and recommendations that drivers can use also to keep themselves safe when the students are entering the bus. So in the event that a driver or student is boarding an AC bus, riding on an AC bus, then we recommend that the ventilation be put on fresh air. This will keep the driver safe and the students safe aboard the vehicle. Also, we recommend that the roof hatches be left propped open whenever possible as well, even with the AC going. When the driver shows up to pick up your student, this is what the driver could look like. Either a face shield, the face mask, or both. We recommend, again, another recommendation that drivers get a lanyard and put their face mask on, so just in case the mask falls off, it doesn't fall onto the floor. And if you feel like your student can also use a lanyard to hold their mask on, as a parent or as a guardian, that's a recommendation if you feel safe enough to send your student. But I just want to show you what it's going to look like when the students board the bus and greet their drivers. So when the students are entering the bus, it's going to be hard to socially distance 6 feet from the driver as they're entering the vehicle. So the students want to go back. You want to have name cards, name tags, whatever your district recommends that you put up so the students know where they're sitting so there is no confusion and they can go right back to their seats. In order to keep the driver safe, to stay 6 feet, this is what we're recommending: to leave the first 3 rows open on this side and the first row here across open. This will keep the distance 6 feet from the driver at all times. The reason why we're recommending this, some routes can be a little bit longer, maybe an hour, maybe a little over an hour. So we want to keep that in mind. With saying that also, drivers, another recommendation is to crack your window. Keep it cracked summer and winter. This way the air circulates through the bus and you're not just keeping the air in the bus. Also, we turn your fans on, have them facing towards you. Here's another one, have it facing towards you. This will circulate the air as you're driving as well and keep you and the students safe. I'm Donna Boyce with TST BOCES here in Ithaca. And again, these are the school bus recommendations and guidelines. Please see your local district's recommendations and guidelines for further assistance. Thank you. We hope this video was helpful.